Hello, good morning, TKD. Sorry it took me so long to get these videos to you. I've been very busy the last few weeks, uh, trying to do stuff in my personal life. Anyway, so I reviewed everything once already, one time through. You definitely have some good points here that you added on, and then there's some small fixes I think that you can add to your game that'll help mitigate this kind of a size disparity, this this kind of size difference between the two of you. But yeah, let's get started. We'll break it down round by round like normal. Good. So I like that poke. The going forward, really good. You scored with it obviously, so that's good. Another thing you can do and wait for is because this the guy you're fighting isn't very fast. So not here. I think it's a little bit further back. When he's putting it down, if someone cuts you, hangs it, and then puts it down, a time to counter cut would be right as it's coming down. So that's something you can look for also. So as soon as he cuts, you wait for it to come down. As it's coming down, that's when you're shooting your cut in because he can't really do too much unless he's very dexterous. And given that his cutting and falling backwards the way he is, I don't think he is. So that's an opportunity to look for. Something to add to drills is practice for someone to cut at you. So for have someone cut at you, and as they're trained to like train, so as their foot's coming down, that's when you're shooting your counter cut. Because your front leg is good. So definitely add that to your arsenal. Nice. Nice counter. Nice try. You coming out of bounds here, I would not. I like that you attempted this head kick, and I wouldn't have really. I don't think I would really fault that too much. The only thing maybe is if you're gonna try that, you could position yourself better in the ring, obviously first. But I mean, it's not a big deal. That's very loud. Good offensive cut. Good second offensive cut. Another thing to add to your arsenal, especially because how far do I have to rewind here? So second cut, he likes to fight you in place or cancel. One way to beat the cancel is to put your hand on top and punch over, like a variation two punch. I go over that in my punching video. But you're gonna need some explosive upper body and you have to sell it. Or the second one is if you cut and he's canceling underneath. Oh, let me get rid of this. If you cut and he cancels underneath, you can flip it into an axe kick. So as you cut, they come up underneath and then you go on top. So that's something you might want to think about adding also. I think especially because you're a taller player, that'd be a very good addition to your game. Uh, to have the threat of the axe kick. And yeah, so if they're well, that one he countered you, he canceled counter in place. But if you go back to this kind of cancel, it's underneath. If it's underneath your leg by a long shot, and then he kind of holds your leg as you're cutting. If you cut, if right after doing that, and he's used to your cut coming in, if you cut and flick, his hand's going to be expecting the cut extension part, so his hand should be low, and then you can try and get on top. So it has to be kind of deeper axe kick. Turn, 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 turn. Good. Nice try there. Be ready to follow up. So, especially with smaller guys, their entire game here is based around getting inside and then scoring on you on the inside. So as soon as you guys get to this kind of distance, you want to be ready, um, just in the future. On the punch, okay. So going back to the punch, how do I get rid of this? There we go. So the punch here, let's go slow mo. Good. I like that the front leg, your hands here is for front leg control. That's good. Your punch, when you punch, you need a little bit more force. So open this leg up a little bit more so you can rotate your hips, move this foot like half a step to the side so you can open your up your hips. The punch technique itself, your arm here is good. This extension is good, but you also need to like yell. You have to key up and let the judges know that you intend to score that punch, and you have to sell it because this punch is subjective. Like this guy has to think so. I'm not sure where the other corner refs are, but wherever the other corner refs are, they have to think you're also scoring. And so when you punch here, this is good. You can add a little bit more power, like I said, by opening up your hips a little bit more and stepping out to the side. And you have to key up loud, man. Like you have to really sell your punch points. Okay, go back to normal speed. So good punch. He's on the edge. Oh, there, good cut. Nice. There you go. And recover. Not bad. I wouldn't go back leg so much against this guy. I would just keep poking with the front. I think back leg every now and then to poke is okay, but for the most part, I'd just keep trying to hammer his flank with this front leg of yours. Nice try. Also, take note what he does here. I think you can kind of see. No, never mind, never mind. In a clinch situation, don't be the one going backwards. So here, you're in a clinch. You should be ready, and if anything, you should be shoving him back and looking to score a head kick or a kick to the body. Because if you're going backwards, you're stepping back, your momentum's going backwards, and you're creating space for him to kick you, and you don't want that situation to happen. So if you are standing, hold on. If you're standing face to face here, this is a good position for you because he can't really kick, especially if he's not being aggressive and pushing you. Chest to chest is not a bad position for you. If anything, though, you want to be situating, you want to put this foot backwards more, shove him back, and then go for that head kick. Yeah. Also, in that situation, you like put yourself in the corner. So really, as much as you can, try not to go back. First round. I watch a lot of PUBG stuff. So this is also if you develop your punch, this is stuff you can swipe out of the way and punch over. Like it's semi-extended, or right here at the very beginning. So this is one of the things I was talking about when the cut comes down, cut on top, or if you want to just lead hand will cover the kicking leg and then you punch with your backhand, loud key up, trunk rotation, everything, then that'll be good for you. Good motions, good motions. Turn. So in this situation, get your arm here underneath to where your elbow is almost underneath his armpit. You're gonna have to stick your stance a little bit, and then from there, it's gonna be really hard for him to push away because you're taking away all that pushing ability. Once he gets here, so it should be at a 90. I talk about this in a lot of my videos. 90 and then up this way, hands up this way, and you're pulling him back like this. Like your arms are essentially doing this in the clinch, like pulling back. And to everyone else, it looks like your hands are just stuck there because his body will be here, but you're actually applying pressure to where he can't move out. So that's a way to avoid a situation where he's in the clinch and then pushing you back or pushing himself back and then getting out in. If you get your arm locked in here, that arm lock, that will definitely help you out in the clinch. Also, be aware of the footwork. There's a footwork that you can use to spin out. If you don't know how to do that, let me know. It's kind of hard to describe over video, but yeah, you have to just. If you know how to do it, great. I'm not gonna go into it. But yeah, that situation, that's where you'd want to do that. Get your arm hooked under and then spin. Good job trying to get out right away with the headshot. That was really good decision. Oh, you don't need to spin. Don't need to spin. You just keep here. You don't have to match what he's doing. You can just keep it simple, dude. Keep it simple. Same thing when you're in the clinch there. You could also be looking for head opportunities, especially if, let's say, you don't get the inside track and you can't hook. Put your arm on top of his like this, on top like that way. So if you're like face to face, this is your head, this is your body, this is your arm on top, and then see if you can crescent kick over your own arm to his head. Because if your arm's on his arm this way, he can't block or he's gonna have trouble blocking, and so that'll delay him by a little bit. maybe enough time for you to get your head up there, your head kick up there. Good. Good. I like that. Good. Oh, maintain offensive pressure. Turn, turn, turn. So a lot of it is he's closing in on you, and then from the clinch you're letting him push you back, and that's why you're losing space and your offensive pressure. In the clinch, you should actively be trying to look for your out in crescent kick, or trying to change up the way your stance is, so that way he has a hard time pushing you back. Nice. Also, I was gonna say, work on, especially for people who are gonna fight you close stance. Work on a cut kick straight into head kick right after. Like cut down head. And the reason for that is specifically for the situation where if you cut and they're just out of distance, your leg's already here. You just lift it and hit him in the face. So one more time to rewind the tape. Your cut comes up. It's already here. Just oddball right after, because his face is there. So that's something you want to add to your arsenal, especially because it looks like you're a taller player. Cut down right there. Yeah, that would have been the opportunity. I'm gonna play it one more time just so you can see it. Let's do 0.75 speed. For some reason, my mouse is like tripping right now. 0.75. Bound right when it lands. If you had lifted it right there, you might have been able to get him. Cut down right there, because you're already in distance. Just throw it up there. Okay, anyway. Back to normal speed. So he's yelling cabeza. I'm not sure if you know his head in Spanish. And so his coach is telling him to get inside and then crescent kick you. Or at least I think that might be your coach. 2, 3. Oh, crescent kick with that, man. So you already hit him. 1, 2, 3. Turn any of those after, especially try and get in the habit of going body, head. So if you're in the clinch, body 1, head 1, or body once, body twice, and then head. Because most people will drop their arms and try and get the look of the kick the same. So if this is my front knee and this is the back knee, and your body shot comes out like that, boom, like knee wise or leg wise, like that. Try and make your headshot look the same. Don't have your headshot come out super wide because it looks different. Just 1, 2, and then boom on top. See if you can get that done, especially in that situation. He was just walking backwards for you, so that'd be a good idea to capitalize on. And this is a situation when they're walking backwards, you can create for yourself if you're able to push them back in the clinch. So it's another weapon you can use in that situation. Not bad. Don't back out in the clinch. Do that again there. Don't back out in the clinch. Yeah. Don't back out in the clinch. Round 3. So he's canceling with another high kick. If someone were canceling me with a high kick, what would I do? If someone were to immediately cancel high kicks with me, I would switch stance and try and spin under the high kick. That's the time I would shoot the back kick. But it also depends on what your weaponry is. If you're not comfortable with that, something else you can do is the third variation of the punch, where you slide in with your knee kind of bent the way Iran does. It's Iran versus Husseini versus Daehun, where Husseini slides in with his leg bent with a punch on top. So that way, in this situation where things get canceled, you have to watch the video of this Husseini guy, or watch the punch variation video, how to punch. I go into there. I'm trying to find where this starts. So first cancel goes to the head. On the second one, if you cut with a high knee here, knee bent, it'll cancel with this, and you'll when you land forward, and your backhand will be in range for a punch. So I would suggest, especially if you're going to stay in the stance, you need to have a punch. Um, Once again, it's like the third variation punch, and that's something you can use against someone who's trying to cancel you with their front leg. Turn, turn, turn. So this is one of the other situations where you want to get the arm lock right away. So here, well, one, you're almost out of bounds already, so priority would be to get out. And then two, you don't want him to create space because he's looking for an out in, so get the arm lock underneath. Nice try. And so part of the reason he's able to create so much space is because you're not able to lock it down, and you do that through the arm lock I was talking about. I go in that in some of my earlier videos. That's something you might want to try practicing, just so this situation doesn't happen to you again. Also, because you're taller and you have that out in, like try and look for more opportunities to use that, because that is a good weapon. It is hard to block, especially for someone who's not used to it. And you only threw it like 2 or 3 times in this whole match, but it's a good weapon. So I would try and use it a lot more often. Nice try. Cut. Hard cut. There you go. Nice job. Nice. And it sets up for that. That's awesome. Awesome combination. In the corner, you applied offensive pressure. Really nice. Yeah. Really nice job back here. Dude, that was so good. In the corner. Hard cut to create offensive pressure. He screws up. Like another opportunity would have been an axe kick right there. But I mean, you get the crescent kick right after, so not bad. But also notice the way you position your arm here. If you actively position your arm on the outside like this, and then crescent kick, that's also good. Like that's another good way to crescent kick. So try and find situations or create that situation more often where you're in the clinch instead of being passive about trying to figure out what he's going to do. Actively try and either lock it up or actively try and get your arms on top of his arms so you can out and crescent kick. Awesome job. Awesome job in the corner right there. Unfortunately, I don't know how this ends. Good. Nice aggression here, too. I think he came out swinging, right? A little bit late. Yes! Nice! Dude, so good. So many good things. Cut. Oh, okay. Turn. Okay, so in this situation here, a lot of... I'll replay this. If you don't know... Once again, if you don't know how the footwork to spin someone to get yourself out of a corner, let me know, and I can try and break that down. In another video, I'll find someone who does it well, and then I'll try and play it back. But this situation where he's coming at you with a lot of forward momentum, you're in the corner right here, boom. It would have been good to spin this leg around and just block this flank side, because anything on this side, your body's moving away anyway. So you just need to cover this side and spin, and that puts him in the corner and gives you good position. Yeah, things are getting heated. Turn, good turn. Also remember, you need to actively either lock it up or look for opportunities to score. If you're not doing one or the other, then you're just letting him do what he wants in the clinch, and that's not a good situation. Interesting for grabbing. Nice! I don't see the rest of it. Hopefully you still won the match. If not, I would assume it's because you got pushed backwards and then you got kicked. If you did win the match, good job on defense. Once again, though, really awesome job creating a situation over here where you followed up when he was in the corner. Besides that, some things you might want to look or think about adding to your game are adding a really good right hand punch, because your left leg is in front, so you can get used to the variation 2 where you're handling the front leg pressure with your front hand and then punching with the back hand, or the variation 3 where you're sliding in with your leg slightly cut and then punching on top. That'd be something really good to add to your game, especially because most people will cancel you because your legs are so long. And so if you can add that to your game, it kind of nullifies what their defense is, and they have to rethink everything. Another thing to do, also if someone's canceling you underneath, is you cut short. They're going to lift, and then as their legs up, just reach for an axe kick. So it's going to be like a cut axe. Like cut, don't put your leg down, just cut into the axe kick. That's another thing you can do. The third weapon I would say you want to try adding to is right after your cut. There's a situation, I think, in round 2 or round 3 where you land your foot like in front of them, you just lifted an op ball. So cut down op ball. That's a third thing you can probably work on. And then the fourth thing is in the clinch, you have a great out in. So look for more situations. Remember, in the clinch, you need to actively be shutting it down by arm locking them up, or you need to actively be you need to actively be looking for points where your arm is on top of theirs and you're trying to get that out in. Overall, really good pressure. I really like this situation here where you pressed him. There are a lot of good situations too where you're feeling that. I feel you felt that he was about to come and you brought the offensive pressure, especially at the start of ending around, especially at the start here. They just started. Your leg was coming down, meaning that you initiated. So really good keeping the offensive pressure. That's so money. Good job. Overall, good fight, man. Just gotta patch up the small holes in the clinch because that's the only area this guy's getting you. Um, but yeah, good work. Very proud of you. Keep it up.